Welcome back to Power and Politics. More than a dozen people were arrested today in their fight to save Canada's prison farms. Check this out. About 150 people protested outside one of the farms located in Kingston, Ontario. And the federal government is planning to shut down all 6 of Canada's prison farms. Ottawa argues they're not worth the cost because not enough inmates will wind up working on farms when they're released. Advocates say they're a great rehabilitation program. What does all this say about the Conservative government's approach to our prison system and their new crime agenda? To answer that and to react to the ongoing protests, we've gathered some MPs. In Toronto, I've got Liberal public safety critic Mark Holland. In studio with me here in Ottawa, NDP's Thibeault. We did ask for the Minister of Public Safety, Vic Toews, or for a Conservative MP to join us. We were told that no one was available today. It's always a bit difficult in the summer. But let me just start with you, Mark Holland, in Toronto. Last year, the federal government announced it would shut these prison farms. Big protest today. What's the Liberal Party's view on this? Are these programs worth keeping?
Prison farms work. It's as simple as that. I've met with correction officials who work in prison farms across the country, some of whom have worked more than 30 years, who say it's the most successful program they've seen. That nothing prepares inmates who are about to be returning back to society better in terms of providing them life skills and job skills. And it's not about just going into farming any more than literacy is going to teach reading. It's about giving base skills. These are a lot of people who've never worked a full day in their life, and suddenly they've got to, on their own, get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, work a 10-hour day, work with animals where it builds empathy, and it changes people. I've seen it myself. And so this program being tossed in a garbage can, when they refuse to show any evidence, anecdotal or otherwise, to say that it doesn't work. And in fact, all the evidence also seems to suggest it's actually going to cost more to kill it, because right now it provides all the dairy and all the cheese and all the milk for the farms in Ontario, Quebec, and the Maritimes. So you're going to have to replace that. You're going to have to replace it with a new program. You're going to have to plow into the ground these prison farms that are next to the facilities. And so the community's getting deeply frustrated. You're seeing this outpouring of support that's manifesting now into to something more, because I think they're so deeply frustrated that something so black and white, so wrong, is happening.
I want to show you guys a clip from Vic Toews in a minute, but first, Glenn Thibeault, what's the NDP's view on this? Prison farms, are they worth keeping? Are Canadians getting value for their money out of these?
You're getting a lot of value for your money, and many of the comments that Mark are saying, I would reiterate. But the one thing that we also see that's very important is food security. And if you're looking at the bricks and mortar of a prison, they're doing more when they have a prison farm because they're contributing to that community by bringing the agriculture, by bringing the dairy product to that community. So that's something that we don't want to lose as well. And we see that as an important piece.
Let me show you what the Minister of Public Safety, Vic Toews, in answering a question about the protest that went on today. And the protests have been going on now for 2 days, just the most recent ones. Here's what he said.
I believe that it's not a productive use of government money, or more importantly, it's not a productive use of the convicts who are incarcerated for a period of time. Our responsibility is to provide appropriate training and job skills so that they can be reintegrated in a wholesome fashion in society at large.
Glenn Thibeault, I've talked to the minister about this. He's simply saying, look, let's give them real job skills to really equip prisoners so they can go and be rehabilitated. And frankly, farming skills for most of them are not going to be very helpful. What's wrong with that?
Getting up and actually having a job and having to learn any type of skill, to be able to just have that whole process, that structure in your life, is a step in the right direction. And when you take that away, and I know we're going to be talking about double bunking in a bit, but if we get even to that situation, we're making this a more volatile system for the inmates. Rather than looking at rehabilitation, what we're looking at is crime and punishment. And what we should be doing is seeing jails as a place to get the rehabilitation.
Mark Holland, has there been any study, I mean, you're arguing for the efficacy of prison farms, has there been a study that can say these things are really effective, we're really getting value for our money, we really do lower recidivism rates, we really do rehabilitate prisoners through this system?
Well, and that's exactly what we've asked for before they close it, because all the businesses that I've talked to, all the correctional officials that I've talked to, say this is the most successful program, and that people who come out of this are very much employed. They're sought after by construction and other fields because of the fact they know how to put in a hard day's work. They know what it's all about. But I think what's so dishonest about this is the notion that somehow this is going to be replaced by these amazing programs. There is not a shortage right now, or rather there is a shortage of programs in the prisons right now. And so when you get rid of this program, you're replacing it right now with nothing. I've gone in through most of the federal prisons across the country, and I've seen them build birdhouses, and I've seen them sew pockets onto jackets and do different things. You know, and those are all good things. I'm not saying get rid of them, but to try to say that somehow building a birdhouse is more important than going in, working a 10-hour day with animals, building empathy that comes with that process, and the pride of putting in a day's work and seeing the productivity that comes from creating milk, and I think is a tremendous insult to farming, and really misses the point that a lot of these people need extremely basic skills. They have not done that simple process of knowing the value of work, of showing up every day. And by the way, the inmates clamor to get into this program because it fulfills them so much. It's not like they get really anything else from it money-wise. And when you have a community like Kingston, where you have hundreds and hundreds of people showing up at rallies I've spoken at, who are coming out and say they see it in their own community working, when they're begging as the people who receives these inmates in their own community to keep the program, it strikes me as amazing that the government would seek to kill it when by their own estimate it would save $4 million a year, and even that's nonsense.
All right, I just want to again remind our viewers as we talk about this, we did ask for a Conservative MP to join us on this panel to give some balance to this, and we could not find a Conservative MP that was available on this. But the question is, what does this prison farm situation say about the Conservative and the government's crime agenda? I want to bring in a doctoral candidate from Carleton University named Justin Piche. He's been studying the prison system very closely.